Hey guys, I hope everybody's well. Well, 2021 is sure turning out to be one hell of a year for music. And one of my favorites so far is by a group called Lifesigns, and this is their third and latest album, Altitude. I'd like you to take a few minutes and listen to the video, and I'll share my thoughts and opinions of this great album. All right, we'll see you after the review.
You'll be the last one home. Sea won't get you tonight. Whoa.
As the title would suggest, Altitude follows the above cloud musical framework of previous Lifesigns album Cardigan, which featured a long-form title track about the airship world that never came to be. But Altitude is much more than another beautifully crafted, high-in-the-sky feature title track following up to Cardigan. The third studio album from the melodically progressive Lifesigns, featuring John Young on vocals and keyboards, Dave Bainbridge on guitars and backing vocals, John Poole on bass pedals and backing vocals, and new recruit and drummer Zoltan Sazar, who has also played with the Flower Kings. This lineup showcases a band who have now fully found their identity and sound. Special mention here to the fifth member, Steve Rispin, who has delivered a sonically pleasing, seamless work. The album parts were recorded separately during lockdown, of course, and that features an uncluttered and well-balanced audio mix courtesy of Steve Rispin. The 16-minute title track opens proceeding in the peaceful and airy fashion, paralleling the quiet beauty of being alone above the clouds, before dipping, banking, and pitching through a musically acrobatic display of softer and more intricate passages, which I would call contemporary prog. Additionally, there are some lovely choral and classically framed moments, courtesy of guest violinist Lindsay Ward and celloist Juliet Wolfe, respectively. There's also more going on in the lyrical skies than would first appear. The beauty of flight and a view from above themes as a seemingly peaceful introduction, only for it to become apparent that the story is being told by a drone, whose destination and derivative is far from peaceful. That's my interpretation of the wonderful title track. The lyrical arc of Altitude, however, is a questioning one, leading to an optimistic and uplifting long-term piece that nears its end on a fabulous, melodically crying guitar solo from Dave Bainbridge before returning to the delicacy of the number's opening remarks via keyboard atmosphere and the emotive violin of the third guest, Peter Knight. A great way to end the song. Providing perfect contrast to the title track, the following number, Gregarious, which, like Impossible from Cardigan, is the album's pop rock moment. Fitting from fun, theoretically framed verses to quirky little instrumental passages, Gregarious features some tasty Brian May-esque rock guitar from Dave Bainbridge and vocally delightful backing from Lindsay Ward. Next we have the atmospheric Ivory Tower, and you can tell by the first few listens that this clearly carries a personal message for John Young. Indeed, the lessons learned in the lyrical theme, along with the song's delicate introduction, point to a soul-bearing John Young in a solo singer-songwriter mode that here in the company of his Lifesigns bandmates who kicked up the second half of the number with a punchy groove that complements the support, the I Fall Down vocal cries from John Young. Very moving. Following Ivory Tower, we have a song called Shoreline, which is built atop Zoltan Sazar's shifting rhythm and John Poole's distinctive bass lines. It is the jazziest number on the album, I find, but yet remains wholly accessible through reflective passages, melodically charged choruses, and Dave Bainbridge is delivering his fine six-string style. Shoreline is a fine example of Lifesigns being able to conjure up moments that make them sound like two different bands. The bands coming to mind are Toto and UK. The next track, Fortitude, harkens back to the band's progressive yet melodically accessible style from their self-debut. Good news for the more prog-oriented fan than such melodically driven rise and harder-edged fall, and this remains a part of the band's repertoire. The band dropped from altitude to sea level to close out a safe harbor ballad called Last One Home, and this has to be, well, it is indeed my favorite album track. But preceding Last One Home is a short instrumental called Archangels, and this is a tribute to John's work with John Wetton on the latter's Archangel album. Last One Home, originally performed by the short-lived Quango, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, featuring John Wetton, Young, Carl Palmer, and David Kilmaster, and this has since become a fan favorite set closer, and a personal favorite, like I said, of mine. A genuinely moving and highly emotive number, the fully Lifesign version features one of Dave Bambridge's finest and beautifully expressive solos to date. This song is worth the admission of the CD alone. As Last One Home fades out, a seagull cries. A short reprise of altitude fades in to end on its most hopeful conclusion, and I could be so much better in this empty space. Great words, John. Altitude requires multiple plays to get the best of its subtleties and shades, but the end result is an album that's lofty as its title. Great work, guys. I really enjoyed this album. I'm going to give the album an 88% rating. I'd love to know what you think of Lifesigns Altitude, and a matter of fact, any of their albums. So leave a comment below. Thanks, everybody. Hey guys, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed my thoughts and ramblings about this album. As usual, I'm going to break it down and show you the physical copy of what I have. Anyways, there's the front of the CD. There's the back with the track listing. There's the inside. There is a picture of the CD up close. And of course, here's the booklet. Some lyrics. Some producer credits. And now we have everybody here who supported the pledge campaign, which I did not. I didn't even know anything about it, so maybe perhaps in the future I should pay more attention, because I would have donated for sure. And there's just more thanks and odds and ends. Anyways, if you haven't heard this album, check it out. Support the band, go to their website, buy the album, listen to it. You will enjoy it. There's nothing here that anybody would find offensive. It's just great old prog rock. All right, guys, take care, and we'll talk to you guys real soon. Thanks. Good night.